Hi guys, travel with me as I go home. Today I'm going to break down for you line by line how much it actually costs to own a property in this country. I'll use myself as an example so that you are prepared to be able to know what it is that you need to save for, what it is that you need to budget for, and all those things. Okay, so first of all, you're going to pay your bond, right? And your bond is primarily the biggest thing you're going to pay for in your house. But like I broke down in the last video, that your bond can reduce significantly as the years go by. Okay? This is because of interest rate changes, fluctuations, and the like. The other thing that you need to take care of are your municipal rates and taxes, right? And these can creep up on you if you're not prepared and if you don't budget for them. Sorry, it's about to rain. The other thing that you need to prepare for are your levies. So your levies can increase or decrease. Wow, it's actually raining mad hard now. Your levies can increase or decrease based on whether or not you have a good body corporate or a good property management company running your affairs. If you do not have a good property management company running your affairs, it is possible that your levies can really strangle you. I know people living in houses that are not more than 600,000 rands, but they're paying levies north of 1.5, 2,000 rands, and so that's really unreasonable. But you need to take care of your levies and read, your body corporate constitutions and things like that very carefully. And never miss a levy payment, because if you miss a levy payment, it's try for you. So these are additional costs. We haven't even gotten to electricity and water. Gas, if you have an apartment that has, a gas facility within it. Gas, maybe roughly if you're staying alone and you don't cook as much, you don't use that much water when you bath, because I think most gas systems are connected to both the stove and the geyser. You could get away with spending about $200 on gas a month. Electricity is a different story. If you don't have gas, you could pay a lot more electricity than if you had gas. So if you have gas, I'd say electricity, you can budget about $250, $300 if you're really a high consumer. But if you're staying alone, like someone like me, 200, 250 is enough for the whole month. Well, in other places I do know, if you don't have gas and you depend solely on electricity for all your electricity needs, you could be paying north of $800 on electricity for a 2-bedroom apartment, give or take. Okay, so all these costs combined. Then there's also life insurance. Life insurance is another one where your bank will offer you life insurance as cover for your home loan. You do not have to take your bank's life insurance. I think this is what people don't say. You do not have to take your bank's life insurance because it is sometimes double the rate of life insurance of some other brokers. So you can opt to get life insurance from somebody else and tell your bank that this is the policy letter that I got life insurance from. So you don't have to pay your bank everything. Like, they can't be, the custodians of everything, even though it's convenient, but nah, it shouldn't be that way. Okay, so those are the costs. If all goes well, those are the only things you'd have to pay on your property, right? So those are your fixed costs on your property. It's your bond, your life insurance, your levies, your municipal rates, and your electricity and gas. So with these things, you then need to realize, if you want to then rent out your property to somebody else and give it to somebody else to stay in it, whatever amount you charge, you should make sure that you know how much you are going to pay for and how much they are going to pay for. So for example, if you set a flat rate of saying, I'm gonna make sure that I rent out my apartment at 7,000 rands, and you know that your bond is about 5,000 rands, right? You know that your levies are about 1,100 rands. You know that your electricity costs are like 200, gas costs about 200 as well. Those are prepaid, so they'll pay you on their own. And then you know your rates and taxes are about 350, 400 rand, depending, right? So you need to make sure that whatever amount you're charging on your rent matches at least close enough to pay everything that is like a fixed cost, right? Variable costs can be taken care of by the tenant themselves. So for example, if we have 5,000, we have 1,100, we're already sitting at 6,100. And then we have your municipal rates and taxes, that 400, we're sitting at 6,500 rands. So setting your rental amount at 7,000 rands, sorry, is a good place to start, you know, considering that at least you will have a haircut of about 500 rand, which is not bad, you know, which is not bad in this economy. Also, you don't want to outprice yourself, meaning outprice yourself outside of the market, meaning you have a decent 2-bedroom apartment in a location where apartments of that kind go for around 7,000 rand, 7,000 bucks, and you then say, no, I want to rent out my place for 9,000 rand, as if your property is in Waterfall or in Sandton. It's not going to work, okay? So you need to be able to gauge the market and see how much people are willing to pay, the maximum people are willing to pay, and then price at that maximum if you can, right? And then what will stress you out is that tenants oh, then you list your property, right? Fine, this is my experience, now I'm venting. So you list your property on these property sites. So you list your property on Property 24, you list it on private property and all those things, and say, I want 7,000 rands plus deposit. So what will start happening is they'll start calling you, right? So these property managers, property agents from different companies will start mushrooming and calling you, say, hey, sir, I have a tenant that would like to come and view your property. I'm a property agent. I saw your number on Property 24 or on private property. Would you like for me to get that tenant for you to come to your property and view it and pay you? And then I want 1 month's rent from that. Now imagine, beloved, this person has done absolutely nothing. They have a database of people that come to them as physical property agents and physical property managers, right? So if they have people coming to them physically, knocking on their doors every single day and saying, hi, I'd like a property, and they then have a database of places that are available for rent, the work they're doing is just connecting the two people. There is no reason why they should receive 1 month's full rent for that service, because an integrated middleman app could do the same thing they're doing, and it won't charge you that much. Right? So they need to eat, and so what they do is they what do I say? They poach your contact information from these property sites where you would have listed your property, and then they start calling you on that basis. Very few times will you get clients directly calling you to inquire about your property, or to even get, you know, proper assistance and say, hey, I want your property and I want to live in it. So those are some of the knacks of this property game. So if you are in the process of renting out your property that you've bought maybe some time now, you want to relocate, you want to move into other properties, do consider also the costs of onboarding a client into your space, because sometimes we don't consider those costs as well. Consider whether or not you'd let go of your property with furniture or without furniture. Things like that matter, you know, things like that matter a lot. So we're going to be chatting. I've got a 4-hour long drive. See you on the next clip. Cheers.